Hey guys, how's it going? 6Speed here, and today I got a tutorial on how to make some really sick 808s in Serum that sound a little bit like this. So make sure to stay locked till the end, because as well I'm going to be doing a little update on the giveaway we got going on in March here, so make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
I'm a human being, god damn it! My life has value!
Okay, so without further ado, we may as well get started with the sound. Basically, with this 808, what it is an 808 that is inspired from artists like Scarlxrd, XXXTension. Sorry if I butchered his name. Honestly, don't really know how to pronounce it. I hope I did an okay job. And then as well, you can see it in guys like Lil Pump and even Puya. They're usually a lot cleaner, but they have been known to use gnarly, dirty 808s like this. So there's a lot of helpful tools that you can use to apply even to other sounds in here, so make sure to pay attention. But without further ado, like I said, let's get started. Okay, so how we're going to start this off here is we're going to open up an instance of Serum. Okay, load that up in there. Put this over here like this so you can see it. Okay, so let's get started. So the first thing you want to think about is the shape of an 808. When you think of an 808, you know it's like, right? So it's really, really loud, and then it kind of comes down, and it's shaped like that. If you took the shape or what you hear, and if you could put it into a physical line or something, that's kind of how it would be shaped, right? Like, so we're gonna do that with the envelope, because that's what the envelope does, is dictates the shape of the sound, if you will. I mean, so do wavetables, and there's a lot more to it. But yeah, let's get started with this. So we will turn the sustain down all the way, and then we're just gonna turn the decay up to about 150 or 100 or 1 second or 1.5 seconds. Sorry. As well, you want to make sure to put it in mono, because if you don't have it in mono, then you're gonna end up with some phasing issues potentially later because of release on the kick and other stuff like that. So we'll do that. And then as well, you want to put the envelope button on, because if you don't put envelope on for the trigger mode, then what happens is if you can get this weird kind of echoey effect when I apply a little trick that I'm gonna show you guys in a little bit here with the LFO. But anyways, so next thing to do is to open up your analog. And then go to the basic shapes table, and you can use a sine wave, but the sine wave doesn't have as much harmonic. So if you really want that Scarlxrd / XXXTension sound, you're gonna want to go with the triangle wave. Turn that up, and then we'll go over. So it's not really sounding too much like one right now, but we'll get there. So the next step after you got your triangle wave and your envelope all sorted is turn this down by 1 octave. Okay, and now that we're down 1 octave, the next thing that we are going to want to do is take our LFO, put it like this, bring it down, something like that. Oh, that's way too much. Something like so. Bring it up to 1/8, and then drag and drop that up to here. And then what this is going to do is when you play the kick, it is going to give you a much more kind of punch right at the very beginning of the sound. So it's going to, instead of just being like boom, it's going to be like boom sort of thing. So here is an example. And then this is without it. And then with it again, and as you can see, it just gives it more punch. So that's a cool little trick that you can use to add a kick layer kind of to your 808. And then I think honestly that's pretty much it for what we need to do inside of Serum. We have it in mono, we got our LFO shape, we got the kick, that's all level, so that's good to go. So now we want to exit Serum and go to our audio effects. and pull up an overdrive. Throw that in there and turn this down to about 4. And then bring this down so that it's kind of just boosting and distorting the low end there. I'm going to throw this into an effects chain. And then another cool little trick that you can do is duplicate that. Gives it a little bit, it takes away kind of the low end in it, but it gives it a lot more of a gnarly sound, if you can see. So it sounds cool without it. It's a lot cleaner without it, but when you want that distortion, you definitely want to go with the 2 overdrives. I leave that like that, and then the next step after the overdrive for the post-processing is a saturator. So I'm going to take the saturator. Pretty much everything's good, except you want to turn your output down to about -5, and then I boost the drive to taste. You don't want it too loud because then it'll start distorting, and I know we want distortion, but you don't want too much. So about 11 to 10 to about 12 dB boost is usually pretty good. So now you can see the sound starting to take shape again. The one thing that it is missing though is a little low end. So what you can do is let's throw that in the group there, is I take an EQ, and then we are going to low shelf this bitch. Right here. Yes. Low shelf it. And then we are going to put on a low pass. Bring it up. And then as far as for boosting the low end, you can pretty much boost it till it starts to sound really shitty and crackly and all distorted and whatnot. I like to kind of take the high end out there. And yeah, so something like that. That is one option that you can do to help bring the low end back. But there's this other one that I recently learned from Getter's color breakdown video on YouTube, which I'll have a link to in the description. A lot of useful information in there, so I definitely suggest going to check it out. But here's one of the quick little tips that I actually picked up from that video. So instead of doing the EQ, so let's delete that, we'll take the corpus and just throw on the kick tight effect like this. And then what I do too, is I like to turn down the dry wet to about 70%, 71%, and we'll check it out and see how it sounds. So as you can see with the kick tight, I personally prefer using the kick tight method instead of the EQ because it brings the low end, but still maintains a lot of the higher end kind of distortion that you get in around the 200 hertz frequency. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much it for today. That is the tutorial in a nutshell, and this is a really easy, quick way to make some really sick 808s to get that Scarlxrd kind of XXXTension sound. So yeah, sorry, I guess my my little thing is in the way here, so I'll quickly just move it over so you guys can get a look at that kick tight. Again, you don't really need to do anything except for load the kick tight preset down onto it, and then you want to throw the dry wet on there, or turn the dry wet down a little bit. But yeah, so this is kind of how it sounds without the post-processing. So as you can see, that's a really big part to this, like I mentioned earlier. But yeah, so that's pretty much how I make my 808s in Serum. Well, thanks so much for watching, guys. I really hope that you learned something today. Definitely a lot of useful information on how to make some really gnarly 808s in this video. So yeah, make sure to also go and check that Getter video. Definitely a lot more information in there that you guys definitely find useful. So check the description for that. As far as the giveaway goes, got the item coming in the mail. Should definitely be here by this week. So not this video coming up next week, but the video after we'll definitely have all the details surrounding the giveaway, what you guys need to do to be entered into it, and then as well it'll give you guys or show you guys what the item is. So I can promise you that it is production related, and all you producers out there that are just getting started are definitely gonna love it, and it'll be a useful tool for all of you. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you guys want to see for more future content, and as well make sure to hit that notification button because I got a lot more stuff coming out, and as well you don't want to miss this giveaway. So thanks again, and have a great night everybody. 6 Speed out.